I'm Cheney. Welcome back to my channel, a place where you can find all things self-development, lifestyle and intentional living. In this week's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the ultimate life organisation app which I use for literally everything. This app has pretty much replaced all of the lists that I used to keep, with exception to my monthly budget sheet, and that app is Notion. I am a chronic list keeper. My Capricorn nature thrives in lists and spreadsheets. I am aware of how boring that makes me sound, but I am not ashamed. I have to-do lists, self-notes, book notes, book lists, shopping lists, goal lists, reset lists, gift lists, recipe lists, a fitness tracker, brainstorming lists, YouTube schedules, Instagram schedules, and shoot locations. Lots and lots of lists that go on and on and on. As I'm sure you can imagine, having that many lists in multiple different places is actually very chaotic. So when I found out that there was an app where I could honestly put all of those things in one place, to say I was buzzing was an understatement. I really am not exaggerating when I say it replaced all of those lists. There really is no end to what Notion can do for you. So obviously, as I just described, I do have a lot of lists. So what I'm going to do is share my screen and just show you briefly the templates I have and how I use it, so you can get an idea of what it might be able to do for you. As you can see, I've got my life goals, which are empty at the moment just because I didn't want to share those. I've got my quick references, so you can obviously see these are where I reference off to my other lists that I use quite frequently, things like my shopping list, my journal, my weekly reset, etc. I've got my 12-week goals that I set. I need to update these. I haven't put my new ones in yet, which is fine because I've already shared these ones with you before, so I don't mind sharing those. I've got my weekly to-do list, so I split this into to-dos that are sort of goal related and keep me in a line and on progress with my 12-week goals. I've got my YouTube schedule, so I keep on track of editing and posting and recording. And I've also got my other section, which is basically admin stuff that I need to do that isn't related to a goal, but it is something that I need to do, like for example sign up to my online bank or transfer money into a new savings account. I have a habit tracker, so I can keep on track of a new habit. It just helps to make sure that you're actually doing it frequently so that you actually start reinforcing that habit. I've also got a weekly schedule, so here I just try to plan out what I'm going to do with my week. It doesn't usually change too much. I'm quite a routine person, so I've got what days I'll do my exercises on, days that I'll try and video edit, when I'll do my meal prep, etc, etc. I've also got a next actions and projects section, so this is basically where I brain dump all of my to-do lists. So I got this idea from Martin Allen's Getting Things Done book, which is really, really good. And he basically says that you can't focus 100% on anything, or you can't concentrate if you've got all of these like open loops, as he calls them, in your brain. So if you've got any unfinished tasks or anything that keeps really popping up in your brain, it's because your brain doesn't know what you're going to do with it, and so it keeps bringing it up because it wants a resolution. So the easiest thing to do is to take it out of your brain and put it in a system where you can write down what it is that you need to do, what the outcome is and how you're going to achieve that outcome, and then for you to set reminders that you actually do it. And once it's out of your brain and your brain is satisfied that you've kind of dealt with it, your brain's clear to actually focus on the tasks at hand. So this is what I use this for, basically just my brain dump of things that I need to do. And I have different sort of tags for them, like work, errands, I've got to buy someday, which means, you know, things that I'm not going to do right now, but someday I would like to do them. I've got stuff for my personal business, you know, all different kind of tags. I think I filtered that so there isn't even everything there. I've also got my projects list, which I'm just going to scroll up because I don't really want to show that either, but it's projects that I would like to work on, but they're big things. So sometimes my next actions and to-dos will have smaller components that make up that project. So that's what that is. I've got my weekly reset list, which I have touched on briefly before in a blog, but I don't think I've done a video about it yet. So if you're interested to see that, do let me know. But it's basically things that I do on a weekly basis to get my life organised for the week ahead and to keep me on track. I also have a little end of month section, which is basically something I only do at the end of a month on top of all of these other things. So we have Get Clear, which is basically all about clearing your environment, making your space tidy, getting your laundry done, just making sure that you're all ready for the week ahead. I have a Get Current, which is basically updating anything that needs updating. So for example, brain dumping new to-dos in my next actions, reviewing my next actions and ticking off all the ones I've done. You know, doing a weekly journal review so I can see how the past week's gone, how can I make next week better, meal prepping, etc. Stuff for my YouTube, so just creating my Instagram content, updating my schedule, etc. and also just a personal reset, which is basically just about my appearance to make sure that I look like an acceptable and a presentable human being, which is why there are things like shave and whiten teeth. Probably a bit TMI for you, but I really don't care. Obviously my journal is fairly self-explanatory. You'll probably say as well I've got all these sort of coloured tags in all of them. It's because you can filter your lists by anything you want. So you can put filters on, or you can also sort your entries by what type of entry they are, and it's the same with any of these tables. I have a life admin day, so this list is basically when I have like errands I need to run, but instead of just doing an errand here and an errand there, I can like collect them, and then maybe once a month I'll have one life admin day where I do all of my errands. I've got quite a lot on here at the moment. That's just because obviously things are closed and I haven't really been able to do those things. I've got life notes, as I mentioned. Just to briefly explain what these are, it's just where I keep any notes that I read in books that I think are good and applicable for life, and they're little gems that I just like to keep reading over and reflect, because you know, you listen to something in a podcast or you'll read an article or a book and there's something that really like grips you and you're like, yes, I totally get that, and then after a week you've like forgotten what that is. So this is why I put those things and I review them so they stay fresh in my mind so I can apply them. I've got my shopping list, which is amazing. I'm actually working on a paper version of something like this that looks way prettier than this, but this is great for what I need it for at the moment. And the thing with Notion as well is that there is a mobile app, so you can actually access all of this on your phone at any time. So my food shopping list has all the food that I'm going to be buying this week, and then underneath I have a regular buys section, which is basically all the items that I do buy regularly but I'm not necessarily buying this week. So instead of having to rewrite these tick boxes out every week, I can just drag them up and down between the sections. I've got my yearly goals, I've got my self notes. So self notes are basically things that you notice about yourself to help you understand yourself better. So I've got my happy triggers, so what makes me happy. Waking up earlier, making my bed makes me feel better because it makes me feel put together and tidy. Working on myself outside of my job really gives me a lot of satisfaction as a human. I get quite upset and miserable and lethargic if I don't have a project to work on outside of my job. Like nature makes me feel happy, things that make me feel peaceful, things that make me feel aggy, etc, etc. So they're just things to help you understand yourself better, which I think is just, what's the word I'm looking for? Invaluable to any person. I've got my reading list, which is basically just a list of books that I would like to buy and I would like to read. My manifestation list, which is fairly explanatory. And then the other three things down here are all things that are on my dashboard. I've got other things outside of this, like my life vision, my ideas list, my gift list, travel plans, my YouTube schedules, etc. But that's basically it in a nutshell. And I can make these templates downloadable. If anyone would like these, just please do let me know. You can send me a message on Instagram or just send me a comment on these YouTube comments down below. But that is it for today's video. So I really do hope you enjoyed this. And as you can see, like, Notion is a really versatile app. You can do quite a lot with it, so no matter who you are, you could probably find a purpose for it. You can use it free up to like 1,000 cubes or 1,000 rows, I think, which is quite a lot. I actually do have a paid plan because obviously, as you can see, I have a lot of freaking lists. So I've done a paid plan. It's really inexpensive. I think it was $38 for the year, which maybe worked out about £28, which for me was worth the investment. It's an investment tool to keep my life organised and to keep me focused, and it just makes my life easier, so I thought it was a worthy investment. You might not, and if you've got less lists than me, you just want to use it for a few things, the free version is going to be totally cool for you. I will leave a link in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. Otherwise, that's the end of the video, so please do give it a thumbs up if you did like this. It really does help my channel, and hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post, which will be every single Saturday. You can also find me on Instagram at Cheney Parsons, which I'll also link down below if you'd like to check me out on there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I truly am very grateful for all of you. I will see you next week.